A list of the topics, themes, and subject matter for the episode can be found in the chat or description below.
The three of us, we are soldiers. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. The three of us, we are soldiers. We got soul. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we got soul, we are soldiers.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Midnight here on Bat House. My name is Fabian Lele, storyteller for tonight. And let's start tonight by saying thanks to our sponsor, Hero Forge. We would like to thank our sponsor, HeroForge.com. HeroForge.com has enabled us to bring you Midnight Rush to your very homes. And without them, we wouldn't be here. If you haven't heard it yet, HeroForge.com offers kit bashing. It is a new feature for pro subscribers that levels up the customization on HeroForge.com. The vast array of items and features that can be placed anywhere on the Mini, users have more freedom than ever before to create bespoke miniatures that represent their characters' unique personalized stories. Kit bashing allows you to add up to 20 more items onto your Mini, with each individual item having independent scaling, rotation, and movement. Minis themselves now have greater customization with kit bashing, including more granular hand and finger positioning, independently posable legs and feet, and scaling for individual body parts. Items added to the Mini via kit bashing can be nested together into folders in the kit bashing menu on the right side of the screen, which allows them to be scaled and moved as one unit. Kit bashed minis can be purchased in any form currently available on Hero Forge, including both physical products and such as color printed plastic or color standees, as well as the digital products such as STLs. Visit HeroForge.com and make your mini today. Now that's out of the way, let's say hi to our hunter.
Hi everybody, I'm Ambrose. I go by any all pronouns, and I am playing Adrian Waters, which goes by he, they pronouns. And he might not be exactly a hunter anymore, or a different type one. So let's see how that one goes.
Hey guys, I'm Laurel. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm playing Tinny, whose pronouns are she, her. And Tinny doesn't realize that she might have told Adrian to go do that thing. That was not on purpose. Anyway.
Hello, I'm Stella Luna TV on all social media. Today I am playing Coralie. We both use she, they pronouns.
Hey everyone, I'm Josephine at Scary Dog Friend, other co-producer over here at Bad House RPG, and I will be playing Chanyeol Huang, he, him.
Last we left off our hunters, there was a lot to digest. They just destroyed the Philosopher's Stone that they procured for Austin Collins. After that whole ordeal, they took a beat to reflect on what's going on. What are they supposed to do now that the stone is destroyed? They find out later, after a few confrontations between our hunters that Jetsire is involved. After taking care of their wounds, they meet up with a bunch of anarchs in Queens, which give them a form of way to figure out things with Austin Collins. They have informants, safe houses, and places that they can utilize, but some of them feel the need to explore other options. We open as the evening just begins. Moon is high in the sky. We see a room with candles lit to the side. A lavish silk adorned bed is in the middle of this dark kind of chamber. A man stands in front of another. They caress Adrian's cheek as Shahad asks, "Is this really what you want?"
Adrian looks at Shahad. Like it's a long stare, a long thoughtful one. And then like nuzzles into the hold. I'm sure. I've had a long time to think about it.
With a nod, Shahad tips your head to the side. And as it has always been, the lingering kiss from Shahad gives you a certain amount of bliss. It brings you into this form of euphoria where you remember beautiful memories of you and your sister, you and your friends, you and your grandma. It brings you to these memories that you thought you have lost, but are flooding in as bit by bit your life is being sapped. The temperature in the room drops significantly as you feel as if it's freezing cold. The stone floor feels like it's ice, like it's snow. Shahad leads you to the bed to give you some comfort. The strength in your arms dissipate. The smell of vanilla and sandalwood radiate from Shahad. That's the only thing that you can focus on. And before you know it, all you can see is a bright light. Something's calling to you. Something familiar, something warm. Then it is snatched away by darkness. Everything goes black as the next thing you encounter is a bitterness, and that it becomes sweet to your palate. The blood trickles down your throat and down to your cheeks. Shahad feeds you their life. The beating of your heart starts to race. And then it suddenly starts to slow. It bumps and it bumps and it bumps as bit by bit the speed of the blood rushing through your veins stops. You see nothing. all of a sudden you are in this grove. There is only mist that surrounds you. Your legs cut through it like a knife. And you hear a slithering sound behind you. What do you do?
Barely time to gather bearings of where I am exactly. Um, Quickly turn to it to the best of my ability.
You quickly turn to it, and piercing yellow eyes meet your gaze in the darkness of this grove. Starts to descend into the mist. Underneath you feel the floor give out, falling. And then, like an embrace, this warmth surrounds you. This wet, viscous liquid envelops you. You cannot breathe, but nothing really comes in as you try. And then you realize breathing is not required anymore. This crushing force surrounds you all through your chest, through your arms, through your shoulders, through your legs. And you feel the cold dirt surround you. Gasp, and you look, and you try to turn your head, and you can't. You try to reach out, and your arms are to your sides. But bit by bit, slowly, you can raise them. You hear a shift in the earth. And instinct tells you to dig out. And you hear it in the back of your head. Ice.
It turns into a clawing of the earth above me until I get to surface, however long that takes.
You hear the collapse of earth behind you as you're leaving behind a pocket air. And you feel that your arms, your legs, your back, your whole being is slithering through the earth. And you break through with ease, as if falling out of a womb. You exit where the handsomely dressed man who put you in this position is waiting, a cloth like a blanket. He rushes up to you with an embrace. Everything is still. Everything is cold. But everything feels vibrant. The smell of the grass, feeling the embrace of the wind on your skin, the light of the moon. Everything feels great. At a distance, you hear a bunch of people clamoring, and you look around, and it looks like there's nobody for miles. You're there in the arms of your lover, born anew, no longer alive. The rest of you wake up in the morning. Adrian is nowhere to be found. Jiho starts to cook breakfast. both Jet and Wendy are in torpor as they are. What are you guys doing?
I think Tinny wakes up, and the first thing she does is check on Coralie and Chunyol and Adrian. But she doesn't find Adrian.
The bed that Adrian was supposed to be in is left untouched. But you still see two companions that you have. You hear the sizzling on a frying pan in the kitchen.
Does anybody know where he could have gone? We're not supposed to be out and about.
Before we went to sleep last night, I had a little talk with him. But I didn't think that he'd disappear. I thought he'd, have a little phone call. But I'm scared that this is my fault. And I think Tinny sits at the table in the kitchen and kind of gestures for y'all to sit with her.
Phone call with who?
Well, he seemed real lost last night when we were trying to decide how to get information. And, he's been having that woo-hoo, don't kiss and tell thing with one of them in a different clan. And I told him that I'd support him if he was going to try to get information from them. I thought he'd call them. I'm scared that he left to go find them without us.
Coralie is typing on their laptop, or more precisely, Jet's laptop, still doing research about the locations that we were suggested might be good places to hit. Well, wouldn't it make sense that the last person to see Adrian would be the paramour that came over?
I mean, that's what I'm worried about. I thought that he would just call him. I thought that they'd have a conversation, get some information, but I'm scared that he went to him for help.
Coralie grabs her phone and tries to call Adrian.
A distinct ring echoes in the house. You trace it back to the room where Adrian was supposed to be. His phone is left.
I'm not fucking liking this.
Coralie picks up Adrian's phone. Is it locked with a passcode?
Damn it, I knew I should have asked his birthday when I had a chance. I feel like... Do either of y'all have his sister's number?
No.
No. Barely knew her.
I got a real bad feeling about this, y'all. And I think Tinny sinks into the chair. If something happens to him, I think it's going to be my fault.
No, it's not. It's just not gonna be, okay?
I mean, you saw him with his grandma. After he hasn't been the same since. He's not thinking straight. And he doesn't want anything to happen to his sister or us. He's not thinking straight.
It's fucking Adrian. I mean, maybe he's doing something that'll really get ahead of all of the investigation that we're still trying to get ahead of.
He doesn't have his phone, Chunyol.
I don't know who we can call. I don't even know where he would be last, I guess. Just
Is Jet awake?
Coralie goes into the room wherever Jet is resting.
Jet looks like a corpse. Unmoving, unbreathing. Is lying down on the bed.
Coralie tries to shake him. Jet, wake up.
Shake him once. You shake him again. You shake him a final time. And you finally get a response. I'm resting.
Adrian's missing.
Ugh. And you see him fight the urge. And he rises. What am I supposed to do about that?
Do you have like a vampire database of ways to contact? We think that he might be with Shahad.
That's the handsome one, right?
mega handsome.
He takes his phone, dials a number, calls it. He puts it on speakerphone. Someone answers. It's a male voice. Yep. Peter. Did this Shahad guy show up at the bar last night? No. I haven't seen Shahad in a while. Siobhan is also wondering where he could be, but yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. Okay, thank you. Well, I'm stumped.
You don't know where the camaradas, where they sit, where they live?
The last thing I want to do is show myself to the Camarilla. Technically, I haven't said hello as I entered their city, so I'm not really well. But
I mean, you're not really in a place to move anyway. We can go get him. We just need to know where to go. He doesn't have his phone and he's not thinking straight right now, and I can't wait, or I can't just sit on my hands.
okay. He gets his laptop, kind of types in. It takes a while. He starts looking for information. Shahad. He finds like an address, but it looks like it's just a business address. It just says, look, if anything, give it till nighttime. If we don't hear from them, then we should work.
I don't think we have that kind of time. I think he's going to make some rash decisions. He needs us right now.
What rash? Look, he might just be, kicking it with his partner or something. I don't know. Like, you guys have been through a rough night. He might just be, I don't know.
I think Tinny gets really up into Jet's face and starts poking at his chest, and she says, "You didn't see the look on his eyes before he left last night. He has not been the same. That is one of the most important people I know in my life, and I'm not going to sit around. He's with dangerous people right now, without his phone and without us."
Okay. Hey. Let's head over. And we'll see what happens.
Thank you, that's more like it.
He starts to walk towards the garage. He opens it and he gestures for you guys to enter the car.
Weapons or no?
Doesn't really matter. Just bring what you want. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm useless in the daylight. Okay?
We're not gonna let you fight right now anyway.
He starts to pull out and he drives over. He drives you guys to this office building in Manhattan. There's a bunch of like security guards over there. There's a receptionist.
I look at Chunyol and Coralie and I see that neither of them really probably want to have this conversation. So
I think this entire time as well, Chanyol has been a little quiet. Just thinking to himself.
Coralie has brought the laptop and was doing research in the car, but eventually got car sick and is just leaning up against the glass with their eyes closed. Just trying to make the world stop spinning.
all right. I guess Tinny walks up to the receptionist.
This receptionist is very beautiful. It looks like this kind of foundation. It looks like they do charity work for some reason. Kind of like close to a religion. And this receptionist just goes, "Hi, can I help you with anything?"
Hi. If it would not be so much as a bother, my very best friend has gone missing, perhaps, and the only information we have is this address.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is his phone, and I show it to her, and I say, this belongs to him. Even if we can't get to him, it would be wonderful if he could get his phone back so he could contact us.
What's your friend's name? I mean, we don't really house people here, but do you know anybody who maybe works here?
Does the name Shahad ring a bell?
Oh, of course. Yeah, he's our CEO. He runs the place.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. That is Adrian's. Tinny kind of leans in and whispers, "Lover."
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, he doesn't normally come in. But
What type of business is this?
it's like a charity, like kind of like a church.
Okay.
It's like an office space for
Like for philanthropy?
a foundation for philanthropy. Yes.
Well, is there any way we could get a hold of Shahad that is not going to get you in trouble, but could help us find our friend?
Oh, no, of course. He did mention that he had some business last night. That he should be able to free by tonight. He actually asked all of his appointments last night to be canceled.
All right, I'm going to be so frank with you. We fear that your CEO and our friend are in danger.
Oh, no.
And this is a little bit more urgent than it might be coming off as. And Tinny starts like kind of like blinking her eyes and like kind of making little tears form in her eyes, trying to put on the pretty doe eyes. Like, and I'd like to be able to get a hold of them.
Let me ask his head of security to see where he is and make sure that they're okay.
As the receptionist leaves, almost as if on the tail end of what Tinny is saying, as if Chanda was going to interrupt you, he puts his hand on your shoulder. And just like above you is just this incredibly grim look on his face.
I think this scares Tinny a little bit.
You start to hear the receptionist doesn't leave the vicinity. Pretty much just puts their headset on and kind of like makes a call. Yes. Okay. Yes, we have guests. Okay. All right. By any chance, was he accompanied by someone? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. And they should return to okay. All right. I'll tell them. She puts the phone down. I believe your friend decided to join the foundation, and he should be back later tonight.
Tinny's fake tears have turned into real tears, and she is just seeing red. He's decided to join the foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. Can you give this phone to him when he returns tonight so he can get a hold of us, please?
Oh, well, I believe what I was told is you'll be brought to his home. I don't think they're going to stop by here, so you can probably keep this and you'll be able to give it to him.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I don't think Tinny even looks at her. She just takes the phone back and heads out of the building.
And to Chanyeol, she says, if you're interested, please take some of our literature.
Fuck off.
Oh.
And then I walk out.
And offers it to Coralie.
Coralie reads it on the way out of the building.
On the way out, you see it's kind of like this fellowship. They do a bunch of charity work. They house youths. They house pretty much like unfortunate souls who are just down on their luck and are just looking for a fresh start. Pretty much it is the whole song and dance of a cult-like following, not too different from what we normally see, like Scientology. You get back to the car and Jet says, like, you guys figured it out?
Just so soured.
We were essentially told to wait until nighttime.
I think.
He got turned into a vampire.
And Tinny just breaks down and starts sobbing.
What?
I didn't think that this would be. I didn't think this is what he meant. I didn't think.
Adrian joined the foundation.
You see Jet hit steering.
I didn't.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't know. If I had known that this is what he meant, I wouldn't have told him to go.
Here, Jet put it in gear and starts driving to the house.
I think Tinny spends the whole drive back just like in Chanyeol's shirt, like sobbing into his shirt. And like, it's like not a sad sob, it's an angry, self-disappointed sob.
In response to sobbing, you hear that Jet starts to turn on the radio. He blares the speakers, and I assume, Coralie, you're in the passenger side. You are hearing bits and pieces that are being masked by the music that is playing. What you assume are expletives in a different language. You have a first, like, a ringside seat to the anger that Jet has, that you kind of feel is shared from Tinny and Chanyeol.
Coralie watches Jet through the corners of her eyes, but she tries to be subtle about it. She doesn't want to bring attention to it. She kind of looks out the window as this music is thumping on this ride back. It doesn't seem like that this is a time to talk. But she's rocking her knee back and forth, fidgeting in place.
Every time Jet shifts gears, you start to notice how tight he grips the shifter. You guys enter the garage. The music dies. He opens his door and slams it, not even waiting for the rest of you to come out. He just leaves.
Coralie opens the door on Tinny's side.
Tinny just kind of sits there. She's stopped crying because she's lost her voice. The crying was like screaming when the music started, and it was like guttural and primal. And now she's just numb and defeated. And she doesn't even look at Coralie, but she just gets out of the car and goes inside.
As the rest of you enter, it's been a while. You guys took a while to get into the city and to get back. Food is a little bit cold, Jiho says. Is everything okay?
We gotta wait until night, and he'll show his face.
I'm so sorry, Chunyol.
And then Chanyeol, I think, looks down at her and kind of like lifts your chin a little bit. It was not your fault that he made the decision that he made, okay?
He was confiding in me. I could have stopped him.
A sudden crash is heard. The second floor, as if somebody punches the wall.
It's fucking tearing up Jet too for some reason.
Tinny, Chanyeol's right. Even if you suggested against it, even if you fought against it, Adrian could have made this choice.
What has been the point of getting strong and scrappy if I can't even protect the people who matter the most to me? And Tinny kind of just kicks the wall. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm not sad. I'm mad. I should have been able to stop him. He should have had a conversation with us. Doesn't he care about how this affects all of us?
We should think about the things we want to ask Adrian before he gets here.
He's the closest thing I have to a brother, and I. And Tinny kind of just lets out like a little inward scream and just like slams herself into the bathroom.
Coralie stares at Chanyeol, trying to get a read on him.
Yeah. If I'm able to catch your eye, I think I just sort of look up at you, and I think it's clear that he is also mad. That there is a boiling point beginning to collect. But I think as he sits down on the couch and just looks back up at you every now and then to see if this is a conversation that he's even willing to have, I'm confused, but I don't even know if I can say that I'm caught off guard. I saw him that time with Shahad. We were both coming out of the bar together, so I've been thinking if I would be even more of a hypocrite to be angry at him, but this is just different. He got himself killed, but he's gonna be around. He's gonna be upright. But Shahad's the big dogs, right? The Camarilla or something. So Adrian is just also gonna be part of that world. And gonna be so many light years beyond us.
I think even with whatever Adrian chose to do, which could still potentially be not that, he's still a part of this.
Is he?
I think so.
Is he gonna wanna be?
Only one way to find out, I guess.
With that day feels like its longest day of your life. The hours turn, and it feels like it's forever. You start to see from the window, the sun begins to set. Orange hues that are breaking through the blinds turn to purple. The moon illuminates part of the house. GA turns the light on. You hear the rustling from the basement as Wendy comes up. Seeing your sullen faces, she says, "Ooh, who pooped in your cereal?" Hey. And just heads over to Jet's room and lets out a small yelp. "What the fuck did you do to your room, dude?" After that subsides, it's about 30 minutes after sundown. The doorbell.
As the doorbell rings, Coralie looks up across the couch towards Chanyol and Tinny, and after an awkward moment gets up and opens the door.
There's a moment when the door does open, and there isn't that much different. There might be like, I think he has awe on just on, so there might be just an extra bit going on in terms of look. Dressed normally just in cleaner clothes. Eyes look a little different, but not by much. And then looks at the doorway, like thinking about it after staring at Coralie for long enough.
Coralie reaches forward and tries to poke your cheek.
Literally moves out of range. Like immediately moves out of range. What are you doing?
I think Tinny runs past Coralie and throws herself into your arms for a big hug, and then punches your chest and hits your chest a bunch and says, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
As hit Adrian's chest, your skin feels repulsed as Adrian is cold.
Ugh.
I like grab you by the shoulders, like I let you do this. Like tightens the face, waits for the moment to happen because it took too long to like move out of range from the poke to really notice this, and then like gently pushes you away. I'm sorry.
You feel like a snowman. And she turns around and walks back into the living room defeated.
Shahad sees everything and kind of lays a hand on your shoulder. I think I'm gonna give you a moment.
Yeah.
But if ever you need, just call.
Thank you.
He gives you a kiss on the forehead. Waits until you get into the house as the door closes. They walk to their car.
Coralie will hold the door open for Adrian and then actually step towards Shahad.
He looks back at you, puzzled.
Coralie pulls out her phone and says, Look, we were really worried about Adrian today, and we had no way of getting hold of you, and that wasn't fair for any of us. If you care about Adrian, then you should care about the people that love him and are part of his family. I need your number so we can talk to you if we need you.
Of course. He calls over his driver. The driver comes up. He says, would you give her our contact information? He says, yes, sir. Takes your phone. He starts to type contact information. Gives it back to you.
Corley snatches her phone and then slams the door closed behind her as she goes inside.
You start to hear about a minute. Car starts to leave.
I would say that, like, walks in experimentally to the front door and looks at everyone's face before closing the door.
Tinny is not making eye contact with you.
I'm not always gonna feel like a snowman.
Before we continue this conversation, I need you to roll me a rouse check.
7.
Okay? You're at 1 hunger. You stay at 1 hunger.
There's like a moment where, like, makes a face, but it passes quick enough. Yeah, I'm not always gonna be cold.
You didn't say goodbye.
No, I didn't.
And Tinny throws her shoe at you.
Dodges. like tries to, if I have to roll, like, dodges out of the way, but, like,
Dodge out of the way.
yeah, I've had little sisters throw things at me halfway across the room before. So
The way you dodge, there is this serpentine-like movement and grace to you. The rest of you notice this. It's uncanny and inhuman.
Tinny takes the other shoe off and throws it too.
I think is going to just eat that. Like, you know, like, just take it wherever it lands.
It's a Doc Martin, so I hope it hurts.
It just hits you on the chest.
It doesn't. Like, just rolls off. I didn't tell you because I knew what you would say, obviously. You made it really clear.
That we care about you?
Yeah, like, I know you care about me already. That has nothing to do with that. And I care about you. All of you, a lot. We have brushed with death too many fucking times. And I don't know how the fuck we're still alive. I'm gonna be really honest. But it's not gonna be like that this whole time. It's not. I can't lose anybody else.
We thought that we lost you.
I know you care. But I haven't had anyone to care outside of my sister and my grandmother for a long time. And as much as I care about all of you, we are in this together because of trauma bonding from the beginning. I know it's more than that now, but I care so much. I'm willing to, I did this. I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not going to fully mean it.
You did this to protect us?
Not just that, but a reason. Yeah.
He didn't force you or give you some sweet promise of something?
The first time he mentioned it, months ago, probably, of course. But we kept on getting close. I've seen too many of my family die. I nearly lost my sister. I don't know what happened in my apartment. But you didn't see her. She fought for her life. And I wasn't there. And I'm tired of not being enough to do anything about it. This was my choice. 1000%.
Tinny hesitantly walks over to you and gives you a real hug again. I just wish that you'd told me. I understand feeling like you have to make the choices to keep people safe. I get that.
I thought I kind of did tell you, but I guess I didn't tell you.
Okay, well, it went over my head, Adrian.
I'm sorry.
And she punches your chest again. God damn it.
Returns the hug.
You start to realize, Tinny, that there is no breath coming.
You're like a statue.
I wouldn't say that. Just, it takes a lot more to do anything.
I hear where you're coming from. Yeah, we weren't there. It's just gonna take a while, given the whole, I don't know. You chose a hell of a side to get started on the undead business.
But it's a side that we need information from. Need to find out about this Austin, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna be one that looms over your head for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I made that call. And if I regret it later, that's on me. But I get to make a choice, a self-destructive one or a not self-destructive one, any way I see fit.
While that might be true, you're smart enough to know that this is going to change you in more than one way.
You're right.
And it might be your choice, but this decision you've made, you're a part of something that we're not anymore. If it boils down to it, you might be forced to choose between them or us. And right now, it might be us that you choose. What does this look like 2 years from now? 5 years from now? What does this mean for your sister?
Whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, I don't know. I just know that you will at least have years. Okay, yes, I don't know. But selfish reason, I didn't want to die. And I don't want anyone I care about to die. And if I have to make that sacrifice to be undead, to make sure that y'all do fucking live, I will. And if that means down the road, sides have to be picked or some shit, fine.
You chose to die, and now we are just gonna live through your afterlife. You
don't have to.
Well, we're gonna stick around. Because we love you.
I love you too. I love all of you. But I get to see y'all live too. I get to unlive through your life.
I love you guys too, you stupid idiots.
Start to hear steps from the stairs. Well, if it isn't the big man. Look at you. In big decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think this is the right one.
It was either that or die, so I chose the one I thought was the best option at the time.
Oh, really? Bed yet? You hungry? Takes a blood bag. You hungry? He grabs you. He grabs you by the collar. See this? This is your life now.
I didn't know you cared so much about me.
Care about people doing stupid shit.
And that's when you decide to jump in on it. I could have died any other time and probably wouldn't have cared. But you care when decisions are made that have nothing to do with you.
You could have died at that warehouse. And if I remember correctly, I keep telling you, I keep asking, what are you going to do? What was the response? What was always the response? Nothing. You're lucky that your friend and Jet points over to Coralie. Your friend cares enough to let me know you guys are about to do. I get it. You don't trust me.
It's not that I don't trust you. That's not it. I don't tend to give a shit about people that don't give a shit about me. Like, pull out of his grip. I'm fine, by the way. I'm not hungry.
Pushes the blood bag. Keep it then. In case you feel a little peckish.
Thoughtful.
I stand kind of between the two now. I know where we're mad, Jet. What is your fucking deal?
Jet says, it's my fucking... is that people think that this whole thing, vampirism, is an escape, is a good idea. You think that once everything is done, that's all there is to it? Think that when figure out what happens to Austin, get you guys off the hook, you're just going to ride off to the sunset, lover.
No. Though that is a really good plus, yes, I will say that. But I'm pretty certain that's not it.
Yeah, that would be a nice, happy ending.
I don't get happy endings. I get moments of peace.
Well, here's the thing. If I know correctly, if your paramour, your lover, whatever you want to call them, is under Camarilla's thumb, that means they own you.
Mhm.
Means what they say goes. And now, right now, they might like you for a little bit. How long is that gonna?
Adrian shrugs.
Jet turns to Chanyo. Reason why I care is because I have presented myself to be someone at least work with. And now one of you have done something stupid. This isn't just a boon or a level up. You understand that you're fine with watching your friends die. Eventually, if not now. And you have a sister? You're okay for them to live a life without you. At least in the normal sense. I made the mistake of jumping into this. And sure, it may sound hypocritical, but I would never recommend whatever this life is to anyone. That's why I'm upset. Now, you have big vampire on your side. I guess you guys are all fine and dandy. All good, right? Me and Wendy, we'll figure out our thing. You guys can take care of whatever this is. You guys can take care of whatever you need to take care of. Because, the answer to all your problems.
You're going to punish all of us for a choice that Adrian made without talking to us first?
Is it punishment? You guys never really wanted my help in the first place, right?
I was just warming up to you, dipshit.
Coralie raises her hand. I wanted your help. I called you. I woke you up.
I know.
You should stay.
I look over to Jihe, kind of like as much reassurance as I can give in just one look of just like, Well, if you're gonna fuck off, then make sure you keep your promise to my sister at least.
If vampirism was the answer, and if I could, I would have just turned you.
That's not what I fucking wanted.
And I didn't force it on you, or I didn't ask you because I knew it wasn't the answer.
I know it's not the only answer. Okay? But I've had time to think about it at the very least. I didn't just fucking jump into it willy-nilly. There's been months of thinking about it. If I can help in one area, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The inn with the Camarillo for a little bit, yeah, that's a inn.
It's easy to think this is going to help. This is a positive when the person that sired you is gaining something from you.
We need information. And we all have the same enemy. Why would you leave now?
And what does Shahad get as a benefit for turning Adrian?
Companion,
Yeah, like,
whether or not they really want to help you, or they're doing it just for them.
I appreciate everything you're trying to do. I'm sorry. I am. At least for you. But I'm a stupid 20-something-year-old, and I get to also make my dumbass decisions. And if I regret it, and I like pointedly look, if I regret it, then I regret it. And that's not on you, and that's not on anybody in this goddamn room. It's on me. But either we didn't get enough information, I died, I left my sister behind in the hands of vampires. Or option B. Die now, and die again later.
Tinny gets in the middle of y'all. She steps like right in front of Chanyol and says, "All right, so we have the same enemy. Let's move on from this. We have the same enemy. We need each other. We need a lot of bodies to get done what needs to be done. So, Jet, why would you leave now?"
It's funny how when the chips are down, suddenly you need my help.
Don't act like that. Don't do that. We had every right not to trust you. We had every right not to trust you, and we still did. And we rushed to help you when you came here injured and dying. 'Cause you dumbass, clearly we care about you too.
Have I ever did something for you to not finally trust me?
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that all your help has led us here. We came to you when we needed to find Adrian. We don't want you to leave.
Jet pops a gumball into his mouth, starts ruffling their hair, and lets out a sigh of frustration as he walks up the stairs. You're not really sure whether or not Jet heard you or like listened to you, but you have a feeling that Jet, if they were planning to, the door would have been the other option.
I'll go check on him in a little bit, but Coralie looks over at Adrian. Are you okay?
In what way? My grandma's still dead.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. Body-wise.
The rest of you don't even notice, but Adrian, with your supernatural senses, Wendy's just there and intently just watching, listening. And there is this kind of somber expression on their face. Not anger, but you can feel it's more of pity, more of understanding where you're coming from, but also understanding of where Jet is coming from. You catch their gaze, and they look down and they give you a nod. And without the three noticing, they just walk to the basement.
Adrian watches. Like it's like I don't know how to put it, but like superimposed, like watching something that's happening a little too fast, it seems like. Yeah, I don't feel good or bad right now.
That's fair.
And I want to kill something. Not human, like just the people that did this shit. But
Like Jet's sire.
Definitely that motherfucker.
yeah, that's one, yeah.
We got the deets on Austin, though. And we can take this time, I guess, to do that surveillance, to do that to do those lookouts.
We should probably do that. Looks at watch now. Otherwise, Adrian can't come with us.
Right. That makes sense. And Tinny walks to the kitchen and makes a big pot of coffee.
And I have to be back right before sunrise, I think. Apparently, I don't really have a choice.
So I've set up this laptop here. The bookmarks are open of the different places that they recommended. I think y'all should have a look at this. I've put together a PowerPoint on potential points of.
Did you just say a PowerPoint?
Did you do that just now?
What do you think I was doing when we were in the car? Yes.
I don't know, playing Cookie Clicker. Literally anything other than making a PowerPoint.
Jihei says, check up on Jet.
Hey, how about you warm up some food for everybody? Because I think Jet should be here for this. I'll go check on Jet. Okay. Corley goes up the stairs and opens the door without knocking.
You open the door and Jet is just staring out the window.
Hey.
Yep.
So, Corley steps in and then quietly closes the door behind her. A lot happened today.
Yeah. Surprised you're very, Actually, I'm not really surprised that you're all okay with this.
I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily okay with it. But it seems like I can put my energy elsewhere. It happened. There's nothing I can do to change that. We still have the same problems that we did before it happened.
Sorry, it's just... Adrian just reminded me of something I knew. Thought that their problems can just be answered by just a bite turning into what we are.
As he's talking, Corley will look around the room. There was a commotion earlier in the day. Is there evidence of that?
See, there's a hole in the wall. A lot of like the stuff is like toppled over.
Corley will go over to it and slowly begin cleaning things up and fixing them up, right?
You kind of notice that Jet kind of calmed down and started to do so as well, but hasn't done a lot of cleaning.
Do you want to talk about that person?
To talk about, he was one of my best friends. There was a time where we didn't really talk or saw each other eye to eye. He was mad at me because I wouldn't turn him myself.
Mm.
And not because I didn't want to at first, but I couldn't. And then I realized it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Every time, ever since I got turned, all I knew was trouble.
Maybe. I think you have more layers than that from what we've seen, Jet. Unless there's something you're not telling me.
What else is there to tell? If I could take it back, not be that I am, I would. Now I'm a person who has blood on their hands, blood in their soul. And I have to live with that for how long there is. And Adrian is one of the kindest people I've seen as of late. And to know that they have this demon, this hunger in the back of their head now. I get their anger. I get their desire for revenge. Now, if I could give it all to them, I will. I would. But now they have to live with a life, an unlife that just has death in there, waiting for them. Whether it's not theirs, whether it's not yours, all there is death. Not a fun way to live.
Well, I don't think it's my place to try to convince you to stay and help Adrian with their choices, but we have a situation that we all have to deal with. And we do have a mutual enemy. That hasn't changed.
See, that's the funny part. I don't think you need to tell me anything for me to want to help you. This makes it a little harder. Not to do what I'm supposed to do, but
Yeah.
just makes everything feel painful. Knowing that once I'm gone, the rest of you have to deal with that. I know you guys are going to be there for Adrian. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna be a walk in the park.
Let's just take this one step at a time. It's the second slide in my PowerPoint. I don't know how to ask this other than I think you should watch it. And everyone's waiting downstairs. Worley awkwardly stands over near where he's sat down within like arm's length, and she lifts her arms a little bit, almost as if she's going to offer a hug, and then she reaches over and pats him on the shoulder instead. I'm sorry that bad things happened to someone you cared about.
Thanks. I'm sorry. The same has happened to you.
For what it's worth, I trust you. In case you needed to hear that.
I do mean it. Same.
I know.
Gives you like a pat on the back and gives like, kind of like, rubs the upper back. Starts to stand up.
Are you a hugger?
Am I a hooker?
A hugger!
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Coralie gives kind of a shitty hug because Coralie's bad at hugging. But there's an attempt.
There is like this awkward kind of like attempt of a hug. And as you step back and let go, you notice that Jet is looking at a necklace. It's this ornate gold filigree necklace with a red stone, dark red, like blood red stone on one of the dressers. He lingers on it and says, after you.
Okay. Coralie opens the door and steps out.
You make me nervous. 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 You have a way of making me sweat when you walk in the room. My heart skips a beat.